Hi everyone. This week's peaceful pattern is called Paradox. It was named Paradox because it consists of only straight lines, but they create beautiful spirals. I can't wait to get started, but first, hi everyone, it's K-Red, and welcome to my 2025 Peaceful Patterns Weekly Challenge. By creating a new tile each week, together we can learn something new or be reminded of an old favorite, but most important, find some peace and calm in the chaos of this world. So to get started on this, we are going to start with a triangle. And that is step one of this pattern. Whoops, a little bit of fuzzle on there. So then for step two, let's draw another triangle. I keep forgetting to switch to the red pin, so let's remember. Switch to the red pin. And we're just going to draw for step two a line starting at the top and going down to the bottom. Now the trick to Paradox is to go slow. Take your time, make your lines purposeful. So let's move on to step three and give that a try. So we're going to take our time, make our lines purposeful, and be careful with them. So we got our nice triangle. We're going to start at the top and we're going to go straight down. To me, it's most comfortable to start at the right, but it's not as important as where you start, is that you stay consistent. And that's steps 1 and 2. And there we are. That's steps 1 and 2. So now we're going to go ahead and go to step 3. I'm going to turn my paper so that I'm always pulling down. Slow, purposeful, intended lines. And that's step 3. Really, guys, it's this simple. And we just keep going. So for step 4, we're going to do it one more time. Started with a triangle. We're going to go at the top and we're going to go straight down. Nice, slow, and purposeful. I turn the paper, start at the top, go straight down. Nice, slow, peaceful. Never guess. I bet you can't guess what comes next. Yep, it's the red pin. We're going to start at the top and we're going to go straight down. Nice, slow, and peaceful. And that is that. And we just continue that over and over and over. So, step 1, the triangle. Step 2 is the first purposeful slow line. Step 3 is to the next one. Step 4 is to the next. So now I'm going to switch to my red pen. I'm going to go ahead and finish this one up. So we did 1, 2, 3. So I'm back at the top and we're going to go straight down. Sorry about that. I dropped the pen lid. We're going to go straight over, down. And to me, it's easiest to just continually turn the paper. I know it's a little awkward when you watch on video to keep having the paper turn, but if you want your lines to look right, it is easier to do that. And then it just continues in. And it is so cute. You could do it in so many different shapes, so many different. If you take a look at tanglepatterners.com, you'll not only see Paradox, but you'll see Crazy Paradox. That's Paradox with a triangle. Let's look at Paradox with a square. So we're going to start with our square. We're going to make it just a little bit bigger because I'm probably not going to do too many other examples on here. We'll see where we end up. So now we have our square. And we're going to start, I'll start on the right hand corner, or the left corner, going to the right. And we're going to do that first line. Going down, see how it gets just a little bit larger as you get down. I'm going to try hard to make that the same width all the way around. I have no doubt I will fall short at times, but that is the goal. I love doing this after a hard day. And after the hardest of days, when I do this, it looks horrible. My lines aren't even, they are shaky, I have adrenaline dumping through me, or I have anxiety soaring through me, and they just don't look quite right. But those are the days that this tangle can be most effective. See, I made that just a little bit larger than the others. It happens. Don't beat yourself up. That's the days that tangles like this and Zentangle as a whole for me is most beneficial because it lets me seep out that adrenaline or that anxiety or that frustration. It lets me put it on paper instead of storing it up inside and making myself sick and giving myself anxiety. You're having trouble unwinding at the end of the day? Screen time's not the best for you, the doctors say. A nice cup of tea, nice glass of water, some music that makes you smile, and some simple lines can perhaps calm your mind, start to heal your soul, and bring you some relief to whatever you experience that day. Not every day is good. Not every day is bad. Just give it one more day. Keep going, finding the best ways we can to get by and unwind. And there we go. There it is as a square. Crooked on my page, but I tend to like things at a slant. I tend to like things a little crooked. Shading is important for this shape, and I usually like to have the shade down where it comes to a point. This can be a great one that if you're a little heavy-handed on your shading, to come back in with a eraser and making sure that you have it just in the areas that you want it. Let's smooth some of these out. I've seen in some of my videos that maybe the shading doesn't show up on camera as much as it does on paper. So I'm working to shade a little bit darker than my normal eyes aesthetics would like. So bear with me. So then let's grab that eraser, and I know I went out here. I definitely don't want any outside it. I want to make sure that the tips, the fat tips, are all clean and that the shade I did is just on the other side. So I'm going to go through. That's a good example of where it kind of bled over there, and clean that up a little bit. That's the way I like it. There are no wrong ways. Now I did just notice that as I was doing my step out, I didn't do one all together in black, and I think that would help to see it all together in black as a triangle. So let's go ahead and do one more, and let's do a triangle. Since I got the space on the page, I don't feel like I'm done drawing yet. Let's do one more. So there's a triangle there. We're going to start at the top. I almost always go there. I always go from the top to the bottom right. If it's easier for you to draw up than it is for you to draw down, then by all means, do that on yours. There is no right or wrong. It's just the consistency of one line after another, attempting, occasionally failing, that your lines are straight and purposeful and of a consistent depth. I think it looks better when they're a little bit closer. I did this one a little bit far apart, but that's okay too. I was playing with this pattern last week, and I had tons of fun. I didn't record that. Sometimes doodling is just doodling. It's just for fun and not for recording. But I confess, I have really enjoyed drawing with you all and having fun learning with you all. So there's one with a triangle. Let's add a little bit of shading here. Let's add a little bit of shading here and here. So on this one, I did it at the base of each of the triangles rather than along the lines. If you've watched any of my other peaceful patterns, I appreciate you. Thank you very much. You know that I use these as prompts and reminders and suggestions for future drawings. So I like to do things a few different ways on the page so that I can have a few different prompts and ideas. And there we go. That is Paradox. It is an official Zentangle pattern. Now I know I mentioned earlier about Crazy Paradox. So I thought I'd just show you. I'm not covering it on here. We can do it on Peaceful Patterns, or if you would like a tutorial or an example of how it's done, I'd be happy to. But here's the drawing that I did previously of Crazy Paradox. So much fun. But let's write up the back of our card. And it is Paradox. Make sure I'm spelling it right. It is a official Zentangle pattern. If you go to tanglepatterns.com and at the very top where you have all of the drop downs, there is one that says Zentangles, and then there's Linda's list of official Tangle patterns. That's where you can find all the official ones, including Paradox is right there. So let's go ahead and punch a hole. We can add it to our ever-growing list as we're finishing up April. Not sure, this may be seen in May, depending on how quick I edit and move forward. I hope you all are enjoying spring. I hope you all are taking time and having fun. If there's any of these other patterns you're interested, these are all done in our Peaceful Patterns. If you go to my main page on YouTube, you'll see there's a playlist that lists them all. I hope you've enjoyed your time with me. I know I've enjoyed it with you. Please be safe. Check back with me next week. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you then.